Good morning, everyone. My name is Charmaine Marifi. I work at Severn Trent. I am the Schools Engagement and Work Experience Lead, and I'm very excited to join you this morning to tell you a bit more about us as a company and some opportunities that can help you in your journey to find work experience and to just develop and grow as you embark on your career. So I joined Severn Trent in at the end of November last year, so still quite new to the company. And in my role as the Schools Engagement and Work Experience Lead, I go out promoting our career opportunities within Severn Trent. I um, I go out into schools and colleges speaking about careers and how you can get involved in our careers. So this morning I'm going to be speaking to you about some of those opportunities that we have and how you can get involved. So who are we as Severn Trent? So Severn Trent is a water company, and we also process waste. We have quite a large patch in the Midlands. So we serve, this is really the patch that we serve. We're actually the second biggest water company in the UK. And we also have a Welsh patch that we serve. I will not try to pronounce it, but we call it HD, Hafren Dyfrdwy. And within that patch, we serve about 8 million customers, and we also serve customers in Wales, and that's providing water and waste services to them. But within our business, we also have another part of our business that is unregulated, which is Severn Trent Services. So Severn Trent Services work with private contractors to provide water and waste services to them. And one of those key contracts is the Ministry of Defence. So ensuring that they have a water supply, because their water network is quite different to everyone else. And then another part of our business that is quite exciting is green power. So green power is working on turning food waste into energy through a process called anaerobic digestion. So if you've ever had a Krispy Kreme donut, whenever they're not sold, they go to our sites and they are processed and they're turned into energy. So they're doing some work around that and around fuels. So what do we do? So as I mentioned earlier, we serve about 8 million customers. We have about 4.3 million customer connections. So that's within our entire patch and within our region. And this includes, businesses and household customers as well, and customers such as farmers. And because of how large our area is, we supply about 1.8 billion liters of drinking water each and every day. So yeah, that is quite a lot of water that we're supplying daily. And then we also collect around 32,000 liters of wastewater every second. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what we do with some of that waste as well. And actually, just for you to imagine the scale of our infrastructure, our network of pipes is so long that it would go around the earth. So if you were to go into space and wrap them around the earth, they'll go around the earth about 3 times. So yeah, it's quite a large infrastructure. So all of these pipes that run underground, providing water, making sure that our customers have water. And actually, our customers have water about 99% of the time. And in the unfortunate incidences where, for example, the customers off supply for a number of different reasons, we work within the business to ensure that they still have water. So something that we do is go out and provide water, bottled water to our customers if they're ever off supply, to ensure that they're still able to have one of their life's essentials. And actually, our water is rated at 99.96% for quality. So this means it's a food grade standard. And so when you brush your teeth, make sure that you're not allowing it to just run down the sink, because that treated water, it's like throwing food in the bin, which you wouldn't want to do. So yeah, it is a food quality product. And actually, we have quite a number of different sources that we collect our water from. So that's from rivers, reservoirs, and boreholes. And for example, actually, water in Birmingham comes from Wales. So there's different areas that the water comes from within our patch. And something that's quite special about Severn Trent is actually that 98% of our employees are Severn Trent customers because they live within our region. And because of that, they our employees really take pride in their work. And yeah, so that's a little bit about what we do. So, what is our purpose as a company? So, water is one of life's essential, and we as a company take care of one of life's essentials. You can't live without water. All organisms, plants, human beings need water to survive. And so, in our purpose of doing that, we've broken it down into three main strands of areas that we want to take care of or help in. So our purpose as a company is, the first one is about us taking care of our environment because of the nature of our business. Water and how we process water, it is something that is linked to the environment. So in the work that we're doing, we want to ensure that we have a sustainable water cycle. So actually, as the world is actually about 70% water, filled with water. We have seas, we have oceans, and all of this, so many different sources of water. But actually, when you look at it, only 1% of the world's water is drinkable water. So we want to make sure that in how we do our business and how we treat our water, that we're ensuring a sustainable water cycle because it is limited commodity. And then also we want to ensure that in the way that we run our business, we're enhancing our natural environment as well. So at the moment, we have quite a number of different projects that are going on to ensure that in the work that we're doing, we're enhancing our natural environment. And I'll tell you a little bit more about some of those projects in just a little bit. And then also, we want to make sure that we're making the most of our resources. And like I mentioned earlier, that I'll tell you a little bit more about what we do with some of that waste. We collect wastewater. So actually, as part of us making the most out of our resources and making the most out of of our process, is that when we collect wastewater, so sewage water, some of the bio waste that we collect is actually turned into fuel. So it's actually turned into energy that so it's converted into electricity that then is put back into the grid. And actually about 38% of our sites in Severn Trent are powered by poo power. That's what we call it. Is powered by so some of that waste is it converted into electricity, and we also put some of that energy back into the grid. And we also take some of those biosolids and turn them into fertilizer that farmers can use and things. So yeah, there's a lot that we're doing with some of the waste that we collect. And then also one of the key things that we want to do as Severn Trent is mitigate climate change, because us as a business, climate change is something that can really have that has an impact on us. So for example, over the number of years, you've seen how flooding has become more prominent. We want to make sure that in what we're doing, we're mitigating climate change. Heat waves, for example, usually have an impact on our systems and on our network. So we as a company have actually pledged that we want to be carbon net zero by 2030, and we are working hard towards that goal, we're working on converting all of our fleets, so all of our vehicles into electrical vehicles or hydrogen powered vehicles. So there's a lot of work that is going on at the moment to ensure that we're taking care of our environment and we're mitigating climate change. And another one of our purpose as a company is that we want to make sure that we want to help people thrive, and which is where one of the like an event like today really comes in. So we want to help our customers, we want to help our people that work within our business thrive. So that comes in a different number of different ways. So we want to make sure that we're delivering an affordable service for everyone. We want to make sure that we want to invest in skills and knowledge. And I'll tell you a little bit more later about our employability program that we're running at the moment that is really centered around this. And I'll tell you a bit more about our academy. And then also we want to make sure that we're making a positive difference in our community. And we do this through a number of different ways, through our community fund, through some of the social strategies that we have. And then also we want to make sure that when you join us in the workplace, that we are providing a fair, safe, and inclusive work to work. So yeah, that's a bit I'll get into this a little bit more in the next slides. And lastly, we want to be a company that you can trust. So to do that, we want to do that, we want to do that by living out our values. We want to make sure that we're balancing all our interests with all stakeholders. And most importantly, we want to make sure that we're running our company for the long term, which really links to, making sure that our processes are sustainable and they're good for the environment, and that we're enhancing the environment that we're using. And then we also want to be open about what we do and sharing what we know. So here are some of our social strategies, some of the things that we do as a company. So diversity and inclusion is actually a key part of what we're doing within our company, within our business. So there's a lot of work that we're doing internally to ensure that we have a diverse and inclusive and fair working environment. And also we as a company, we have volunteering days as employees. So each employee gets 2 volunteering days a year where we can go out and volunteer in our community through a number of different projects. And then also we want to make sure we have development opportunities. So we developed a 10 million, Severn Trent invested into a 10 million pounds academy, which I'll tell you a little bit more about. And then also we're doing work with charities through our community funds, where 1% of all our profits are ring-fenced and they're put into a community fund that provides and that works with different charities and providing funds for them to carry out the work that they're doing. And then also it's just community engagement. So that's through a number of different ways. So for example, in my role, I engage with the community by going out into the schools and talking about careers. We have an education team that goes out and teaches about water and the cycle of water. And then we also have our customer teams, for example, helping customers pay their bills, helping to make sure that customers have the most affordable plans and things. So because we know firsthand that when our community strives, so do we. So this is why our social strategy is a core part of our business and a core part of who we are. So here are some of our values. So our values within the company is around showing care. So the first one is showing care. So we want to make sure that within as employees, that we are showing care to one another, we're showing care to our environment, that we go above and beyond sometimes our day jobs to ensure that we're showing care. And then the second one is about embracing curiosity. So for many of you here today, you're doing that, you're embracing curiosity, you've come along to this session to find out more information. So that's really about just going out, finding out, asking questions, trying new things. So really embracing curiosity. And then the other one is about taking pride. So making sure that in everything that we're doing, we're taking pride in our work, we're taking pride in the services that we deliver, so that so in everything that we're doing, we want to make sure that at the end of the day, when you go home, you know you can be proud of the work that you're doing. And then last but not least is about having courage. So that's stepping out sometimes of our comfort zone, having challenging conversations, challenging when you see something that's not right. So that's really about having courage. So these are the values. And, you know, having joined Severn Trent just over 6 months ago now, I found that this is something that really Severn Trent lives out, which is really great to see that these values are really embedded within the company. So so we have a number of very interesting projects that are going on at the moment. These are some of the things that we're doing at the moment, and the one that we're really buzzing at the moment, you know, with the Commonwealth Games approaching, we're really excited as a business because we are the Commonwealth Games sponsor, sustainability sponsor. So I'll tell you a bit more about some of the work we're doing within that. You know, we're working on sustainability, doing work around health and well-being, and I'll tell you I'll tell you a little bit more about all of these things, some of these things that we're doing. So with the Commonwealth Games, you know, there's about 72 countries that are going to be taking part in the Commonwealth Games, more than 5,000 athletes, and Severn Trent is at the heart of that. And so being the sustainability sponsor, we want to make sure that we leave a carbon neutral legacy for the Midlands. And one of the ways that we're doing that is actually, if you may be seen on our social medias, we've been planting tiny forests, and we're planning to plant just over 72 tiny forests all over the Midlands. And this is just to ensure that we're living a carbon neutral future for the Midlands. And then also during the games, we will have about 40 water bars at the 14 venues, and our Severn Trent employees will be volunteering, making sure that everyone has water. Rather than selling plastic bottled water at the games, we'll be giving out free Severn Trent water, which is great. So yeah, if you're going to the Commonwealth Games, I'm sure you see a lot from Severn Trent at the games. So we're really, really excited to be a part of this exciting project. And then another project that's quite exciting that we're doing is the Green Recovery Program. So we as a business have invested about £566 million on our environmental projects across the region. That will also support the UK to bounce back, greener from the pandemic. So here are some of the projects that we're doing at the moment, and I think I'm a geek for some of these things, and I just think it's really cool, some of the work that they're doing. So it really gets me excited, some of these projects. So one of the things that we're doing is that we are removing old customer-owned lead piping. So this is really to ensure that we're bringing health and financial benefits to our customers. So helping customers remove any old piping that might contain lead in them, which are not really healthy for the which are not really great for health purposes. And then at the moment, we've launched our smart meter scheme in Coventry, where we're installing about 157,000 smart meters throughout Coventry and Warwickshire, helping reduce leakage and improve water efficiency. So that's underway now. And then we're also doing quite an exciting project in Mansfield. So we're creating a natural-based trial to reduce flooding. So this is like a natural, because Mansfield is a high flood risk area. So we're trying to create greener environments across Mansfield. Because of how it's been built over time, there's a lot of concrete. So when it rains or when it rains heavily, the water, there's not really much where else it can go. So it kind of just flows downwards into the river. And so that's why it's a real flood risk area. And so with the work that we're doing, we want to help help protect the people in Mansfield from flooding, but also ensure that we're increasing river quality. And then we're also creating bathing rivers as well throughout parts of our region as well. So, and then we have a project called the Big Nature Beast as well that's working, embedding some of those projects that we're doing. So this is really a little bit about our company and who we are and what we do. So I'm going to speak to you now a little bit more about how Severn Trent can help you in your search for work experience, or just some of the opportunities that we have within the business when it comes to work, especially some of our new talent programs. So when it comes to our work experience and development, our academy is at the center of that. So our academy was opened in just over a year now. So we actually celebrated the academy's first birthday in February of this year. And so our academy is really it's a dedicated place for learning. We have they run all of our training and development for our staff, but also now for our community. So there's different ways in which these trainings are delivered. So we have online learning, we have in-person learning as well. So I'm going to play a quick video to show you some of the things that have been taking place at our academy over the past year. So I'm going to play. So yeah, that video just shows some of the things that have been happening at our academy. So yeah, it is something that is open to the community as well. As you saw that we have some police dog training that happens there. So this academy is really centered around development and helping you grow in your skills and in development. So one of the key projects that we're running at the moment is our employability training. So in our employability training, so if you're looking for a job, as a company, we want to help you get a job. We want to help you thrive at work. We want to help you grow in your confidence in getting a job. And so if you're looking for work experience, or you don't know where to start, this is a great program. So within our free employability training, there's three main modules that we're running. And the first one is grow yourself. So with this is free self-development training to grow yourself. So this is really around helping you grow in your confidence by viewing things differently and learning what's holding you back. So really starting to dig into some of those, looking into yourself and seeing what might be holding you back to apply for a job, for example, or what might be holding you back from applying or from going out, or maybe you're coming out of school and you feel like you're really not confident yet to go into the world of work. This is really to help you to do that. So, and another part of this module is help you grow your possibilities by creating a positive mindset to help you build your future and take control of your development. So we have expert trainers that run these sessions. So really trying to get you to start thinking more positively, trying to look at what are some of your strengths and what are some of the, skills that you have already that actually might be really helpful for you to get a job. And then last but not least is helping you grow in your relationship by understanding others and seeing and how they see you and building your relationships. Relationships are a key part of the workplace, and a lot of the times in a lot of different roles, it's really about we're working to manage relationship, manage stakeholders. So through this program, it kind of helps you start preparing for that and to start helping you how to manage relationship and grow relationships. And then I guess this one will probably be the most relevant for most of you that I've joined today. We want to help you get that job. We want to set you up to be able to get the best job or to get the jobs that you're applying for. So we have a module called Get That Job. So this is really around recognizing your skills and setting goals. So the first module, the first session is really around recognizing what skills you have, because sometimes you don't even have a clue what you want to do, but we have expert trainers that can help you start actually realizing what jobs you might want to do or what areas you want to go into. And then we have sessions to help you write a great CV that gets you noticed and showcases your skills. So maybe you actually haven't had much work experience and you feel like your CV is lacking a bit. We have expert trainers that can look at some of your transferable skills and actually help you put that on a CV, or some of the work experience you've already done. How can you speak about that work experience to make sure that you get noticed, that when you put in your CV. So we have CV writing sessions, and also you can send in your CV to us when you join this program and our team of experts, so expert recruiters, expert trainers that that can look at this work, that can look at your CV and edit it with you or edit it for you, and show you different ways in which you can improve it. And then we also want to help you apply for the job that you want and tell you about the different ways applications work. So now, not every job is just sending in a CV. Some jobs have assessment centers. Some jobs require you to do a presentation at any interview stage. So we want to prepare you for all of that. So as part of that, we want to prepare you for job interviews, the different types of interviews you might have. We have sessions around that. So if you have to present an interview, we will go through that with you and give you some of the best tips on how to do that and help you to be confident, to be able to deliver whatever you need to deliver in your interviews. It's helping you to know the different types of interviews that that employers use as well, and knowing how to succeed and how to do well with those different styles of interviews. And then also, we want to prepare you to ask the right questions at interviews and make yourself memorable. So one of the things that usually gets employers' attentions when you go to an interview is the questions that you ask them, how you interview them. That can be the difference between you getting the job or someone else getting the job. So we really want to help you to be successful and to get that job, and to make sure you're as prepared as you can be when you apply for a job. And so if this is something you're actually interested in, it is very easy to sign up, and it's completely free as well. So you can sign up for this training on severntrent.com/academy. So the last module is, if you've now gotten a work placement, for example, or you've gone into an apprenticeship or into a job, we want to help you shine bright at work. So, we want to make sure that you're memorable at the interview stage, but also for you to shine bright at work. So this is helping you bring your full self to work and building effective working relationships. So this is to help you with communication in the workplace, asking great questions and getting your point across. So maybe actually if you're coming out of school and you don't know how to how to carry yourself in the workplace, or how you should bring yourself into the workplace, this might be something that's really helpful. So you don't need to have secured a job to even join this one. For example, if you want to start learning these skills, you can join our sessions and get involved with that already. And then it's also helping you in forming and sharing views and responding to others and other views. So for example, at Severn Trent, we want to hear you. You know, like one of our values is having courage. So we want to help you actually, when you have your views, when you have something to share, how do you form those views and how do you share them effectively, and how do you respond to other people's views as well. And then another key one is just helping you build essential digital skills that are important in the workplace. So, for example, how to use PowerPoint, how to use Excel, and things. So some of these essential digital skills that are a real key part in the world of work. So this is something that we're offering to our community, and you can access this for free. And there's different ways in which, if you wanted to get involved in this training, you can either sign up on our website. You can, if you go on severntrent.com/academy, you can create an account that will allow you to access all of this training. And you can either do it online in your own time. So we have online content of the that you can just watch some of these sessions and go through some of these sessions in your own time, or you can join our live Zoom sessions with our trainers, and there's dates on our website on how to do that. And also, if you do live in Coventry or you're able to travel, you can come to our academy and have in-person training as well. So all of the details are online on severntrent.com/academy. And if you needed like any adjustments or something bespoke, you can always reach out to the team. On the website, there's an email for you to reach out to the team to ask them as well to help you. If you needed more tailored help, you can reach out to them. And I'll really encourage you to join the in-person sessions as well, because you get to interact and you get to share as well some of the things. So it's more conversational, so that can be a lot more effective as well. So yeah, so this is our free employability training. So really trying to help you gain work experience and get that job. So in terms of our new talent program, so at the moment, we're working on restructuring and reframing our work experience program, which is something that we're hoping to launch properly next academic year. Throughout the pandemic, we've not been able to host as much work experience as we wanted to, but we do have a number of different programs that we're running at the moment, and different ways for you to get involved within our company, within our business. And one of the key ways to join us is through an apprenticeship. So we're actually even in the process of hiring now our cohort of apprentices for this year. So our applications closed on the 13th of March. And an apprenticeship is a great way to gain work experience while building your career at the same time. So if you we have apprenticeships from level 2 all the way up to level 7, which is like a degree, master's slash master's apprenticeship. So with this, you can earn while you learn with us. And at Severn Trent, with our apprenticeship, it is a permanent contract. You're guaranteed an off-scheme role, our yearly wage increase. You're eligible for the company bonuses. You know, our salary is above the living wage. You get holiday leave. You get access to lifestyle benefits and a dedicated mentor as well within our business. And there's also an apprenticeship network as well, where you can learn from current apprentices and other people on program already. And the great thing about our apprenticeship is that when you apply for apprenticeship, we don't it's great if you have prior work experience before, but you don't need to have had work experience to apply for apprenticeship program. We for example, in our assessment process, we use something called a strength-based interview, strength-based assessments, where we're assessing you based on your strengths rather than your work experience, because the whole point of the apprenticeship is for you to grow in those skills and get the work experience that you need. So our apprenticeships are open to anyone who's 16 years and above. So at the end of year 11 or at the end of your sixth form, you can join us, and it's open to all ages. And so you 20%, it's 80% on the job training. So you're learning on the job, you're getting the work experience, you're building the skills on the job. And then you also have 20% of the job training, either a college training provider or a university. And depending on the level that you're doing, they last between 1 and 5 years. So these are some of the programs that we have this year. So Severn Trent is, I know sometimes when people think of Severn Trent, it's very much easy to think about some of the guys that you see outside just doing the work, but we have various number of different roles. So yeah, this is our operational world, for example. So we have this year we had so many different opportunities within the operational world. So these are the people that work to maintain our systems and to maintain our network. So we had, for example, people that work in leakage, so detecting leaks and ensuring that all leaks are sorted. So that's water network technicians. We have maintenance technicians that work on maintaining our sites, on maintaining our networks, and then operational technicians that work more on the electrical side, because most of our system has quite a lot of electrics that are involved. We have operational technicians that work within that. And then if you're interested in mechanics, we have opportunities for vehicle technicians. So we have quite a large fleet of vehicles within our business. So we have people that work within that. We have waste network technicians as well, people that work on our waste sites. And so these are just a few of the roles that we have. And for next year, this list will even be much larger, and a number of different opportunities will come up for the following year as well. And then probably an area that will not automatically come to mind when you think of Severn Trent traditionally is that we have a lot of commercial-based roles as well. We have people working in different parts of, these are supportive functions. So we have a technology department, we have finance, we have law, we have HR, which is human resources, we have transformation teams, we have business teams. So we have a lot of different other supporting role. We have even like our communications and creative team. So if you're someone that's creative, we have something for you. So these are just a few of the apprenticeship programs that we had available this year. For example, we had assistant buyer apprenticeship, so that's within business type roles. We have business analyst roles that were available this year. We have content producer, so if you enjoy making content, enjoy being creative in that way, within our comms team, so our communications team, we had roles within that. And then we're recruiting within our human resources. And some of the training, for example, that I'm speaking about, that I was telling you about, our free employability training, some of our apprentices have been a key part of bringing and working on that program to bring it together. And then we also have roles in finance, marketing, all of these different areas. So Severn Trent, our people do a various different type of roles. So there is a world of opportunities. We have engineers. We have so many different opportunities that you can get involved with. And we're hoping that by when we officially launch our work experience program next year, that you be able to come and spend a week with us, in some of these areas. And then we also run discovery day programs. So actually we just finished one a couple of weeks ago during the Easter half term. So we run discovery day programs, which are like shorter work experience program, where you come and spend 2 days or half day or a day with us, where you get you get to discover a little bit more about us as a company, speak to different people within our business, do some interactive work. We had some VR sessions where some of the students got to go through training through our virtual reality, which we actually use to train some of our people within the business. So discovery day programs, you can look up for this on our website and our social medias. We're planning to have more of these discovery day programs, which are shorter work experience days during the summer in August. So there's different ways of you joining us and being a part of what we do. So this is, like I've said before, this is kind of like the structure of our apprenticeship. So training you and developing you is a key part of that. So when you join us, you enroll with us, you have the 20% of the job training, you get an endpoint assessment. So during your apprenticeships, you're supported, you're well supported, and we want to make sure that when you get to your endpoints assessment that you pass. So there's a lot of help and training within that. And so yeah, this is our selection process. So we have you fill out an application form on our website. If you want to, while applications are closed now, you can go and have a look on our website to see some of the opportunities that we had. There's some help and guidance even within that on our application process and how to succeed in that. So you have our application process, then we do an online assessment, and again, on our website as well, we have a number of different spotlight sessions where you can get to hear more about the different roles that we had and also see some of the tips. We want to help you succeed even on your online assessment, and we offer support throughout that entire process. And then finally, which is the stage that most of the candidates for this year are in right now, we have a final stage interview, which is a presentation and an interview. So we're currently running that at the moment. And again, if you take part in our employability program, that can really help you prepare for those interviews. And whether that's you applying for a job within Severn Trent or elsewhere, take hold of those opportunities, sign up and go to those sessions so that you're equipped and so that you feel ready to get those jobs and to succeed in when you get that role. So yeah, so a summary of some of our offers, especially within our new talent program, within our apprenticeship program, is that we offer induction weeks, for example. So if you join us and if you join us, don't worry, you're not be thrown straight in. We do things, we have induction programs to make sure that you learn all about us and you get to know some of the apprentices, to get to know some of the people within the business as well. We offer skilled mentors as well, which are experts in the field that you're going to be working in. We offer personal development plans within our academy. So our academy is a key part of your employment journey and of your process. And then we offer bespoke training programs as well, and then access to the community and yearly increase in pay. So our new talent, our apprenticeship programs will be opening again for applications in January of 2023. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I hope to see some of you very soon, either at a Discovery Day program or when you sign up for our apprenticeship, or hopefully when we relaunch our work experience program, which we're hoping that will be on our website, that you'll be able to sign up and come along to that.
Brilliant. What an exciting program. So much you've managed to pack in there, and so many questions. I think we best just get stuck in so we can get as many answered as we can. I've tried to group them together in kind of themes and topics, but there's so many, we might have to tackle them as they come through. So Sam asks, do you get to work on the sustainability programs during work experience?
Yes, it really depends on what area you go into. So when we have our work experience program, because of the limits on your training, usually it's mainly like shadowing that you get to do. So if you are in the sustainability team, and actually what you find within a lot of the teams in Severn Trent, they're involved in little bits and pieces of our sustainability program. So you might get to speak and to hear and to see some of the work that they're doing there. But in terms of if you're doing a shorter work experience program with us, you are very limited on what you can do and get involved with because of the limitations in training. But we also have chances for the community to get involved with some of the programs that we're doing. So, for example, with planting our tiny forests, schools have been involved, communities have been involved within that. With the big nature boost, communities and schools can be involved with that. So you can possibly speak to your school to see if they want to sign up and get involved with us and get in touch with our community teams that run those programs.
That's great. Chloe actually asked specifically about planting trees. She said, "Do you plant trees, or how do you do it?" But I think we'll skip that one because you'd answered quite a bit of that and move on. Todd wants to know how long is the employability program and how do I apply for work experience?
So with our employability program, it depends on how much of it you want to take on. So it's you choose how many sessions you want to go to, how many of the programs you want to attend. So for example, with the online system, you will have all of the modules and all of the videos online so you can go through it yourself in your own time. I think usually a session is about an hour long or sometimes shorter. So it's really dependent on you. So there's no requirement, or we don't have any requirement that you have to go through this number of weeks. It's how much you need, and we're willing to give you that.
Great. Sam asks, how do you help recognize skills and what types of goals would you set?
How do we help recognize skills? So yeah, for example, the employability program is great at that. We have sessions, for example, in helping you to recognize your strengths. So we do a number of different activities to help you recognize some of those skills. And also, for example, when you apply for our apprenticeship program, because of the way that assessments are set out, especially the online assessment, the when you're applying for that, it's helping you, it helps us to recognize some of the skills that you have, and you get a report back to tell you what are your strengths, what are some of the key skills that you already have based on on how you've answered those questions. And we develop that in a number of different ways. So if you're for example, if you're on our apprenticeship programs, your line manager can get you more involved in some of the work that that either enhances your skills or help you to develop in some of the areas that some of those skills are lacking. And when you join us, our academy, there's a whole syllabus and there's so many different programs that we have that helps bring out some of those skills. So for example, our apprenticeships go on these like power skills sessions, which help them build skills that are even just some of the softer skills outside of their like day-to-day job training. So we have a number of different programs, especially through the academy, that help to develop you in your skills.
Brilliant. There were a couple of questions that were asked that you definitely answered within the presentation, but I just want to say hi to Laura, Nick, and Josh, because Josh did ask, do you do apprenticeships? And I think you did quite a bit of covering that. And I was really pleased and impressed because Laura asked if you give help with the applications and the interviews, which is really great. I think that young people, particularly I think after COVID, need that kind of support. And I think it's brilliant. Nick was asking, does Severn Trent require work experience?
So no. So when you're applying for apprenticeship, again, the key thing is your strengths. So we don't require work experience when you're applying for apprenticeship, because what we're looking for is potential. So we want to see that you have the potential to do the job that you're doing. So our online assessments help you with that. So this is where the employability program is great, because Kofi, who's working on the program, he does some amazing sessions of helping you look at even some of the transferable skills that you have from home, from school, from your social life, to actually how do you talk about that experience that does not seem like traditional work experience on a job application to be to bring value to the application that you're doing. So I've been doing some assessment centers over the last couple of weeks, and I have students that are that I've just finished that are in year 11 that have never done work experience, but they're succeeding and they're coming onto the program because they're just speaking, because of the way that the interviews are even set out, it's around your strengths rather than you having to have done official or traditional work experience. So that's where the employability program is great, to help you start to think in that more transferable skills mindset. And yeah, we look for potential within Severn Trent.
That's brilliant. Nick asked quite a specific question about what divisions are there in Severn Trent in the engineering department. So we have someone quite interested in engineering here.
So I, off of the back of my head, I will probably have to go and do a bit more research into it. But I know, so for example, we have delivery engineers, we have design engineers. Those are like, I know that we were recruiting for those specifically on our grad programs. We have process engineers as well. So there's quite a number of different divisions within that. And I find out more of these like niche areas of this almost every day. I think the other day I was in a meeting and we were speaking, and actually some of the areas where aeronautic engineering comes in, there's a very small part of our business where people have studied that really comes in handy. We have mechanical engineers as well. So we have chemical engineers as well. So there's quite a wide range of programs within that.
I think it's amazing. I mean, one of the things that impressed me the most was not just within engineering, but I think one of the misconceptions amongst young people is they hear an organization, like you talked about, the man in the van, and they kind of really limit their thinking about what the opportunities were. And I think you did a really great job of everything from business, HR, the hands-on, the engineering, to all elements, because at the end of the day, Severn Trent's quite a large business. So one last question I think we've got time for, although there's quite a lot, but I'll try to summarize these few that came through at the end. There were lots of questions about what's it like to work at Severn Trent. So for instance, are there social events? What's the atmosphere like? How has the COVID affected the pandemic? So a general kind of, maybe this is a great time to do a summary of life working for Severn Trent.
Yes, so Severn Trent has a great working culture. I think for me, one of the things joining Severn Trent that really stood out to me is there's a real sense of like care and family. So and I think that's probably, if you speak to anyone from Severn Trent, that's what they'll tell you, that everyone is so nice. Everyone is really caring. They like, if you don't know something, there's no such thing as stupid questions. If you go and help someone, they're always willing to help you. So I think that is a real sell when it comes to Severn Trent, that it is a real nice working environment. And because of that sense of care and that sense of almost like family, we do things within different teams. There's a lot of social events that happen within different teams. We also have so within different departments, there's team away days, for example, where we all come together. And then within the smaller teams, you have things like that as well. And there's social events that are, for example, for our apprentices and grads, we arrange like social events for them all to come together. In March, they went away to Birmingham for at this like games place, and they all came together and had this social event. So there's really a lot to do within that. And I think depending on your role in Severn Trent, most of the roles are like this. No one day is the same. So you're constantly doing something different and something new. And also, one thing I also love about Severn Trent, that you're not just stuck in your role. So I think one of the questions that came in, do you get to work on some of the sustainability projects? That there's a lot of real opportunities to get involved in loads of different areas. So it's just about what you want to do, and if you have a passion for something, there's always a way for you to get involved within that. So for example, with the Commonwealth Games that are coming up, we get a chance to go and volunteer and work at the venues during the games, even though that's not I work as a schools engagement, but I'll get to go and volunteer at the water bars during the Commonwealth Games. So there's a real sense to get involved with loads of different activities. So I think that's really what makes it great. That no 2 days are the same, especially on a lot of our apprenticeship programs. Some of them are laid out in the way that you get work experience in different departments, different areas over the course of your apprenticeship as well. So which gives you a wider range of experience within different teams. And like I said, there's always opportunities to go into another team, to shadow another team. You can ask someone to go and shadow them for a day to see what a day in their life is like. So there's a great opportunity, and I think it's a real great place to work.
I think it sounds amazing. I'd be tempted to go myself. I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the session. I certainly did. You'll notice at the top of the chat that this session and all our sessions this week are being recorded and will be available on demand so that you can share or watch again. Please make a note now, because when this is over, it'll be gone. Do make a note if there's any other questions that you want to know about chats and things, because whilst we're being recorded, the chat's not being recorded. I'm Sharon Walpole. I'm from Career Map. I've been delighted this morning to have Shemaine from Severn Trent. That's all from us today. Hope to see you again in some other sessions. And thank you, Shemaine, for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.